Don't laugh at my hello either.
Well,
Hello!
What's that movie? Is it a hit? Don't ask her like cause she'll say I haven't seen it.
Okay, so hello and welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. This is the podcast where I bring people on the show, I get them really drunk, and they tell me about a movie that I've never seen before, which you'd be surprised is a very long list. Today I have Will Innes and Ryan Maksymic, 2/4 of the Big Cake sketch comedy group. I actually happen to be 1/4 of the Big Cake sketch comedy group, and we have another fourth, but he gone. He can't be here today. That's okay. Guys, hi.
hi. Thank you for having us.
Hello.
I'm Ryan.
Oh yeah, you got to distinguish the voices because obviously they can't see you.
And I'm Will.
Perfect. So here's a fun fact, you guys. We tried to record a little bit earlier, and we're gonna do this really awesome thing that's gonna be a tradition as soon as this gets rolling, where we're gonna pair the film that we're talking about with a drink. And so our drink of choice today happened to be something of a car bomb, something of a Jaeger bomb. It was a shot, and you drop it into a glass. Because today we're talking about The Matrix. Wow. So our drink today had 2 shots, and the guys chose either the red shot or the blue shot, and they dropped it into the bomb. Happened that we chose the shots and drank the drinks right before this, but unfortunately didn't catch it on tape.
But we still have one shot left to do.
They still have 1 shot left to do because, you guys, this is the Haven't Seen It podcast, and this is a podcast where I bring people on a show and they get them drunk, and then they talk about shows that I haven't seen before.
And I still haven't finished my drink from the last time.
So you guys can still hear the clanking of the
So
glasses.
this is what you missed when we weren't recording. Some clinking clanks, some slurpy slurps. So Will and I both chose red. But we have our blue shot remaining. What if... Oh, I was going to ask, what if Neo... Because this is, we'll say it, a reference to the red and blue pill in The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
What if he took both at the same time?
That is interesting.
Would his consciousness be torn in two?
So on that note, I'm going to let you guys know about what I do know about this movie.
Right.
Because,
Okay, you haven't seen this, we've seen this,
Yeah,
but
so
you
I
know
haven't seen
something.
it.
We
So-
will drink our blue shots
Yeah,
now.
while they're drinking their blue shots, I'll just inform everybody. So what I know of The Matrix is that Keanu Reeves is in it. I know that there was a red pill and a blue pill. I know it was a big deal.
The pills?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were pretty crucial
Yeah.
plot elements.
I remember like green lettering like flowing or raining down like a screen of sorts. And there's definitely a kung fu scene where Keanu Reeves is in a gi.
And
it
they're
happens
in a dojo. Right.
They are in a dojo, right?
That is the most certain
That
thing you
is what
have.
I remember.
There is a dojo.
I also happen to remember somebody eating steak.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, right, yes. No,
I don't
you're
know
right.
how important that is to plot, but it just happens to be something I recall.
I don't think very, because I don't remember that.
Okay, I do.
Ooh.
It's not important.
I remember the way he chewed it most of all.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I know.
It's an important character.
It is a very...
and that
it
reflects
happens at the end.
his point of
Near
view
the
is embodied in the steak.
Interesting. Okay, something
Will.
that I would have never picked up.
Now, you didn't Google just the red pill, right? Because that's going to lead you somewhere.
No, I have no idea. I have no idea what the red pill.
Right, it has taken on new meaning in our
Why?
current
What is the red pill?
political era.
What is that?
It's just a subreddit of terrible people.
Okay.
Yes, they've repurposed that as a... let's not talk about it.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, and we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah, our political podcast,
Yeah,
where we're all
which
very
we're
informed
definitely going
and
to talk
have
about.
strong opinions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ryan's
update on
still
my drinks. I'm still working on my blue shot. So
It's just
It's
blue.
Curacao, and it's a smee of vodka.
what's that word? You said it a couple times.
A
smee?
It's my in between of like a smidge and a wee, so it's a smee.
Is that
No,
wait,
that's Captain Hook's
that's,
partner.
Yeah, that's like his first mate. Smee?
Oh,
Have you seen Hook?
I have seen Hook.
Okay.
I've definitely seen Hook.
We should.
I
if
wish
you
I
we
hadn't, just
be
because that
doing
would have
Hook
been a
right
fun
now.
one.
See, now that's a weird movie that I feel like you probably wouldn't have seen, but you have. So
Right.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
all
a
the movies
surprise.
that I actually haven't seen are really well-known
Right.
films. Like, we've got Titanic on there, we've got Rocky, you
Right.
know.
Okay,
Name
but-
a classic, I haven't seen it.
Hook.
That's not I feel like that's an alternative classic.
Okay, but back to the main point. Did you invent this word for your own use?
Yeah, I thought I did.
A smidge and a wee equals smee?
Yeah.
And you're just saying it as if we're supposed to understand? I mean, in context, I get it.
Yeah,
but,
in
but
context,
you
I
just have
imagine
said it
people-
twice in like casual conversation already. And I just had never heard it before. But okay, a smee. It's part of your podcast
I'm now
culture
coining
now.
it. Yeah.
There you go.
If you're a
It's in
SME,
the zeitgeist.
yeah. Okay, well, I have contributed.
Hate
And
this
that's
shot.
all. I'm sorry. And yeah, for those of you at home that want to also get a smee hammed while you're listening to the podcast today, prepare yourself a shot of vodka and blue curacao, a shot of vodka and raspberry
Gross.
sourpuss. Maybe you should have chose the blue pill or the blue shot, Ryan. You
That
didn't
was
like
the blue
it?
one.
Okay.
Ugh. Are
All
we
right.
doing a burp track? We discussed a burp track before the record, and so I don't know if I should direct my burps into the microphone or away, but if we're doing a burp track, I'll happily
I've been trying to
disinfect
do
it.
that. Yeah,
Towards or outwardly?
towards the microphone.
Okay, now it just
there's a lot
retracted
of
into my body. I had one at the ready.
There we go.
Oh, it's left. It'll be back.
I'm just nervous that Ryan's going to end up puking.
Just puking over these lovely microphones that Will has provided.
Well, Ryan has actually been hungover all day. He drank last night,
Yes.
even though he knew about this podcast.
Guys, it was Jenna's birthday.
Jenna's birthday.
Jenna's birthday.
And it was not only just a birthday, it was her champagne birthday.
You know what? That's pretty important.
It is. It was my champagne birthday this year as well.
We did not attend.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't think we were invited.
I didn't
missed it.
do anything. I didn't
Oh.
have a party.
Okay,
Just had a little,
so that's what your life's at now. Okay.
just had a nice night with the girlfriend and
Okay.
went out for dinner. Had some champagne after.
Okay, well, as long as you had a little champagne,
It's a champagne birthday.
you have to.
If you're born on a day of the month that's prior to 18, 19, 21, whatever your legal drinking age is in your current region, you don't get to enjoy a champagne birthday.
No, mine was
That's
June
true.
8th.
Ah, see?
Yeah. That's okay.
That's okay.
I mean, fun fact: we didn't go to Ryan's birthday, and this will probably be the longest conversation I've had with Ryan.
This
So,
is true. I don't think I've ever really had a real conversation.
We're
with Ryan
a
before.
straight business sketch group where we only create and there's no,
We
no
only-
socialization
We
outside of
only
that.
talk in bits. That's it.
Yeah. I've never
We're not actually
expressed
friends.
genuine
I feel like-
emotion in front of any of you.
No.
No, me and Zach are like best friends though. The fourth member that's not here, we actually hang out and you guys don't know. And we really dig deep. So
I can see
we have
that.
our own podcast. I don't know if you guys know. But it's similar to Oprah's podcast, which is called like Soul Conversations or something like that. So that's what me and Zach are like. Anyway,
That's beautiful. So on that note, you guys, I guess we should dive into the Matrix.
we're gonna go down the rabbit hole.
ooh, but we took both red and blue shots, so we'll see if our bodies are split in twain. Okay, so what
How
year did
how
this
does
come
this-
out? How does this work?
Oh, well, yeah, what year actually did it come out?
99, I believe.
Oh, right before the new millennium.
I've got the Wikipedia page pulled up. Will and I both watched this within the last month. But we both have some data in front of us. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. March 31st, 1999 was the release in the United States.
Great, that's very valuable information to me.
Where were you guys? What were you guys doing in March of 1999?
You know,
I was 8 years old, so
99. I would have been. I can't do quick math.
oh, fun story.
I would've been 6.
I was 8 years old. I was at my grandparents'. It was New Year's Eve, 1999. And all my brother and his friend would
Oh,
say
your
is
brother.
that once that clock hits midnight, the world's going to end.
Ooh, for
because there was all the
Y2K.
fear mongering of Y2K. And I was literally terrified that I was actually just going to die when it hit midnight. So I had that real death fear because of
When
Y2K.
you were 8?
When I was 8.
That's incredible.
Because I didn't know that Y2K meant like, oh, the clocks reset and the economy might collapse, not, oh, it hits midnight and we're all just going to die.
Apocalypse.
It's understandable.
Fire would rain from the skies. Yeah, the Y2K bug. I remember they called it that. And at the local Sears in my hometown's mall, they sold these little stuffed animals, these little plushies that were bugs, and they were branded as Y2K bugs in the year 99. And I bought one, and I had one, and it was something that I snuggled and cuddled, and
You found comfort
I
in your
found comfort.
Y2K
But
bug.
pretty dark if that had actually happened, that this company is profiting
Off
from
of children.
this horrible bug that would have destroyed. So
let's start talking about the
the
Matrix.
Matrix
now.
came out in
So
1989.
back to the Matrix. How exactly does this film actually open?
Well, having watched it a month or so ago,
That's pretty nuts that both of us watched it before we even came up with the idea to do this movie on the podcast. We both
Yeah.
independently watched it about the same time,
yeah,
which is cool.
well, because it just kind of recently showed up on Netflix, didn't it?
Oh,
Oh, it's on
that was what it
Netflix now.
was.
Netflix
Yeah.
Canada, Netflix Canada,
which is different from other Netflixes.
Yeah.
Netflixies. Is it the plural of Netflixes?
I believe it opens up with the green text
Oh, the classic
does?
green
spilling
text
across the stream.
raining
That's
down.
why I remember it so well, I would say.
Mhm.
It's got to be prominent.
It's prominent.
Yeah,
Um,
that is the title of the film. The green text is actually The Matrix.
that's what it is. The green text is the code that represents the Matrix. So I guess the Matrix,
what is
you
the
don't even
Matrix?
know
I
what
don't
this
understand
is
what
actually
this
cool
is.
because like that's the whole thing with the movie is like, what is the Matrix? Like our fearless protagonist is trying to discover what the Matrix is, and now you're like
I'm
him.
Neo.
You're Neo.
Oh my
You're
God.
the one that's trying to find the answer to this question, and we're kind of like your Morpheus's.
Oh, that was his name.
Morpheus?
That's it.
Morphei.
You're
Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Yeah. So this is exciting. Yeah. Yeah, the movie opens with a nice action scene with now the actress's name. I always
Carrie Ann Moss.
Carrie Ann
And this is the
Moss.
only woman in the film.
This is right.
No,
We
no.
discussed
Relatively
this.
so.
This is
only
the
woman in
main,
film.
the main woman in the
It's
film.
the main woman.
But realistically, is there another lady in this film?
There's a lady in a red
Yes,
dress.
there's a
Certainly.
lady.
A lady
There's
in a
al-
red
no,
dress?
There is there's a blonde
very
woman
specific.
who is also a person who fights with Neo, who is part of the team. Yeah, there's a blonde woman.
I'm looking at Will with doubt. I don't know who you're talking about.
You will remember when we get to it.
In this movie?
You will learn in time that all of my references of movies that I haven't seen have all, I know smees about them because I've seen clippets from Family Guy.
Right. So this is a running thread where the main thing Alenka watches is the television program Family Guy, which is actually, it's a reference-based comedy program.
Yeah.
So she must hate the show because all it does is reference movies she's never seen. But that's
Right.
how she's gained a cursory knowledge.
It's still funny. I still enjoy it. Sometimes if it's a really obscure reference, I do Google it and I expand my knowledge.
That's a
so
good-
thank you, Seth MacFarlane. Thank you.
Oh, and God, that talking baby, holy F.
But we're talking
funny.
about The Matrix, you guys.
Right.
So we're at the first scene.
Yeah, we
So Carrie Ann Moss.
we open with the text.
The
We see
text.
the Matrix title be revealed, and now we're on a very, very high octane action scene
High
with
octane.
Carrie Moss.
Carrie ass man.
Carrie ass.
Carrie. Wait, if you actually do a little spoonerism, Carrie ass man. What is if you
is
you
the
switch that.
reassemble of her.
Carrie ass man? That's a
Okay,
real
I feel
good
like-
discovery. If there's one thing taken away from this
That's a
episode,
very
it's
good
that. Yeah, she whoops some butt. We see the first instance of the physics defining combat where she raises into the air and does a kick or something.
All right.
And time slows, and we see that she is not a simple human, but a superhuman. Or is she? Or is it, in fact, the Matrix?
And she dives out of a window, bursts through the window, shards of glass. And this is also where we first introduced to the agents.
The agents.
Yes.
Oh.
Some mysterious suited men with sunglasses and earpieces, I
Were
think.
they all the same actor?
No. Well, no.
No.
There is a main guy that does multiply later. So,
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving from V for Vendetta.
And Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. He was
oh,
an elf.
yeah. He
Stay tuned for the
was.
Lord of the Rings episodes of this podcast.
Coming out 2 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
edit
okay.
down.
So we see the agents. That lady kicks some butt.
And then there's a ringing phone, and phones are a big part of this.
Phones?
Phone booths, phones, landlines are an
okay?
important part of this plot. She was running to a phone, right? That's how this scene ends. She's running to a phone, and the agents are chasing her, and then she, here we go.
So anyway, there's a big thing about landline phones in this movie, and that the agents operate on the digital code of the Matrix. But these,
She doesn't even know what the Matrix
I don't
is
know
yet.
what
This
that
is so
means.
exciting.
But these resistance fighters, of which Carrie Ann Moss is a part of,
She's resistance? She's like Katniss?
Right.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, so you have
So-
seen The Hunger Games?
To escape the Matrix, they pick up a landline phone. It's got to be a hard line.
What does that mean?
Like a landline.
Yeah.
Not a
So why don't they just say landline?
Well, it's a hard line. It means it's connected via wires.
So landline.
Sure.
Yeah,
So why do they say hardline? Then?
We'll just say
I said hard line.
So they don't call it a hard line.
Yeah,
This
no.
is
A soft line is like a cell phone. A hard line is like a landline.
But just to reiterate, they don't say hard line in
No,
the
no,
movie.
They
I
don't.
just said hard line.
Very confusing.
It's a
Okay.
hardware, software, whatever.
She picks up a
Landline.
phone and then she disappears. And then is that when the title card comes in?
No, the
Chunk?
title card comes in at the very top of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
went
said
through that.
after the
Right.
the green rain.
Now,
I thought this would be a
so
good point.
what happens is she disappears, but
Okay.
the agents were listening in on their conversation. They know
How?
they know the next target. They know who their next target is, and
How do
they
they
say
listen?
it's Neo.
Okay, back it up one sec. How did they listen?
I don't
What
think it's important.
conversation? Okay.
Because of the Matrix. Once you know what the Matrix is, this will all be...
Okay, all right.
This will make more sense.
All right, well, let's get into. Can we start with defining what this is?
Well,
or-
no, because we have to follow Neo's journey. This is like
Okay,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
like a
You are Neo.
microcosm for the movie. You are experiencing the Matrix, and we're
Okay.
taking you on this journey.
Okay.
So then we meet Neo in the next upcoming scene, I believe.
Yeah, he's like this, like what neo noir punk. That's why he's called Neo. I
you
guess.
used the word Neo
Neo-noir.
to describe
Would
Neo.
you?
Yeah.
Do you want to describe that with a
Like,
different?
it's
He's
all-
a hacker. He's
He's
a
a hacker.
He's a hacker.
He's like a digital.
That's what he does for his job.
Yeah, it's neo
No,
noir.
he's a software developer for a large corporation. That's what his job is. But by night, he is the underground web, dark web.
Yeah,
Do you think the
he's
dark web
he's
was
like a-
something that was around?
He's like a hacker. Some people knock on his door, and it's almost like they're looking for drugs, but they're actually looking for like back end entrances to like websites.
yeah, to like a mini disc. I think that's at the beginning where someone's like, "Hey, you got the stuff?" And it's like a small
Floppy disk.
disc. No,
It's a mini.
No.
was it like one of those mini
It's
discs?
one of the like a mini
like
CD
a mini
disc.
CD. Back in my day, we had discs that had data
I'm
on
2
them.
years younger than you. It was back in my day as well.
So what we get introduced to actually is His name is Neo. His full name is Thomas Anderson, and that comes into play
Thomas
because
Anderson.
Yeah.
I definitely know that agent says Anderson.
Yeah.
he goes like
Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
Yes.
Anderson.
I just learned or was reminded that his first name was Thomas because they do say Mr. Anderson a lot, but Thomas is it's weird that Keanu Reeves is playing a character named Thomas.
Yeah.
So we get introduced to Neo because text shows up on the screen that says, "Wake up, Neo, follow the white rabbit," and he's all like,
Classic Alice.
"What does that mean?" And we don't know what that is.
Oh,
yet.
like it's on his computer screen?
Yeah, someone's messaged him this. And
Ooh, that's
we don't
creepy.
know.
As a
We-
hacker, right?
Yeah, well,
He got hacked. The hacker got hacked.
We assume it's from these people from the beginning, or else
You
why
do?
are we see
You
the
already
beginning?
assume that?
I mean, I would if I'm watching the movie.
We're intelligent
you're-
viewers.
Okay. All right. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, continue then.
Yeah, it's Morpheus, and he's like, "What's up? What's up? Looking for the Matrix? You want to figure out what the Matrix is? I know."
No,
buddy,
wait. He
follow
just
me."
he just comes up on his DMs
No,
and
no.
he's like, "Yo, it's Matrix or it's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
Morpheus."
Yeah, Morpheus slides in. He's just like,
slides
Yo.
into his DMs.
yeah.
Oh, how fun! They should Well, maybe that's what the new
Oh, they
Matrix
maybe.
4, guys. If they're not doing this, this is what the Matrix 4 should be. Is it's for the social media age because this
Yeah.
one goes in '99,
Yeah.
and now we're at what's that? 40 years ago. We're now in the age of Instagram, Snapchat,
Facebook.
TikTok.
TikTok.
I've never used. I downloaded TikTok this week.
Big Cake's
I
coming
still-
on TikTok soon.
Should we?
Oh,
Real
yeah?
soon.
I
Wow.
haven't opened it yet, but it's on my phone. But I've been told that the youths use it.
Well,
But-
so we see that Neo gets
Well,
these
I wanted to
messages.
finish
He's
my
the
thought.
hacker. Okay.
Because I think that they should make the new Matrix revolve around social media and how like we're all so much more connected to a digital network than people were in '99. So that has some kind of influence on the plot. That's all I got so far. But you see what I'm going for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So we see Neo. He's a digital hacker. He gets these messages, but we skip. He's at his day job, which is a
Which is that corporation?
software programmer,
Corporation.
and he's sitting in his cubicle, and we see that the agents are in his office building. They're there to get him because they know where he is. They know he's the next target.
And he's getting the
But he
messages
doesn't
from the resistance
Okay,
being
no, I
like
get that.
they
Okay.
they're watching. They're like, look at the elevator, someone's coming, and then they show up. So they've got eyes on him. So he's like, what? I'm being watched? People know it's the guy. And then they're
Yeah,
like,
can you guys do a Keanu Reeves impression?
oh, let's definitely do that.
Matrix. What?
I need a line. I can only do the general tone.
What is the white rabbit?
That sounded pretty good.
All right.
What do you mean, Bill?
So good.
We haven't got there yet.
All right. Here's a disc.
So these resistance fighters, they're messaging him at work. They're saying they're coming for you. You need to hide. So he does. There's a little kind of hide and seek through the cubicles of this giant, business. It's a business cubicle scene.
Ooh,
Classic cubicle look.
They phone him at this point. Morpheus is on the phone with them, and
Oh.
he's like,
Yeah.
turn the
landline?
corner
Is this
now.
a landline?
No, this is a cell phone.
Okay.
This is a soft line.
Okay.
A soft
okay.
line.
Thank you.
So at this point, he's like got all this like precise information that he's telling Mr. Anderson, saying like, "Ooh, go across the other cubicle now," and it's like very exact.
But yeah, because
So
it's
when
almost
he
like
says now, I imagine that's at the very moment he turns.
I imagine like Morpheus is watching Neo and the agents, almost like he's watching a game of like Pac-Man,
Or like
and
a
he's
mice
like
trap.
he's like looking at it, and he's like, now go.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can see it all on a
And-
digital,
Yeah.
like
An
video
office
game.
full of cubicles really does look like a Pac-Man
Yeah.
level.
Okay.
Yeah.
And isn't that kind of like what life is?
Like a Pac-Man
in-
level?
Like life as a blue-collar worker, just
So what is Pac-Man?
clucking through. Oh,
to you?
is this
no,
a new?
Listen, no. I've played Pac-Man, but like
Yeah.
you just nom on some stuff.
Well, but it's a metaphor.
Is it really?
I think I'm just uncovering it now that it is. Where you're going through these little levels, eating these little meaningless dots that you think are important, but do they actually have value? Every now and then you nom some cherries. And then there's these spirit ghosts chasing you. And every now and then, if you get a big pellet, you get a... I'm not sure what this... I've lost the metaphor at this point, but...
And welcome to the Pac-Man podcast.
Never played it.
Okay, so Morpheus is leading Neo out of the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of the agent's way.
And at one point, he leads him to an office with a window that opens, and he says, "You gotta get out on that ledge, get out that window." And then Keanu hesitates.
Well,
In that
sure, it's a
Keanu
window
fashion,
on
yeah.
how. Oh yeah.
It's pretty high up. You wouldn't want to get up on that window ledge.
Yeah.
But
And he hesitates, and he gets caught.
Oh really?
yes,
So what happens when he gets caught?
So this is where the fucked
Like,
up
movie
shit
ends,
starts
right?
happening.
yeah, the movie ends, and then you just gotta watch the next two.
So the agents, they take him to... It's like an interrogation room, but I was always confused. Do they take him to an interrogation room somewhere else, or is it just in that building?
Oh, I've never thought of this. That'd be weird if they're like, "Hey, we're unaffiliated
We just want to rent the room.
agents.
for
Do you have a?" But there's like double-sided, or what's the word? Two-way mirrors.
Is there a two-way? Yeah, there is a two-way.
I feel like
So
there
it would
must
have
be.
to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
they bring him to an interrogation room, and they start asking him about... they ask him about Morpheus. They ask him about all these other people, and he has no idea, because why would he?
okay.
Right.
He just got this message from this random dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so what happens is they throw him down on the table, and
Rip
then
off his shirt.
They rip off his
They
shirt.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And this is like fairly young Keanu, so
So he's looking great.
he's looking good.
I don't like that you associated fairly young.
Well, I mean, he's immortal,
looking
right?
great.
So
What?
Keanu.
Oh, come on.
Have you seen that
What?
photo of that
You don't
old
know.
general or whatever?
Wait.
there are
Huh?
pictures of Keanu Reeves throughout time,
Wait. What?
or people who look like Keanu Reeves throughout time. So he's purported to be an immortal because he really hasn't aged since like Bill and Ted to like now. And there's also a
I'm gonna
picture of a
have
guy from the 18th century who looks like Keanu Reeves. There's a guy, who's like a Civil War
Are
general
these-
who looks
okay,
like
but
Keanu
is
Reeves.
this real photography or is it?
It's real. It's real
photoshopped?
people. They just
That have
look
been
like Keanu Reeves.
photoshopped?
No, they just look like Keanu Reeves.
Are you sure?
They're
though?
real, actual people, but they're probably not Keanu Reeves. But
Maybe they are.
Probably are. Definitely are.
He's
so they
timeless.
throw him
Okay,
down
so
on the
he's
table,
shirtless on a
rip his
table
shirt
right now.
off,
Great body.
and
stomach.
they take out this machine,
Some
this
kind of device.
cylindrical machine,
Like a tube?
like a tube,
Okay.
and they push it onto his chest, and then you see this slimy slug-like bug.
with like these
Pin-
tendrils,
yeah.
like these big, like
And he like dig into him, and it
Into his
crawls
belly
into
button.
his belly. Yeah,
Ew.
right into his belly button.
and it like shoves its little
Yeah.
like antenna things into his belly button, and then pulls its body into his belly button.
So
Yeah.
this is so sorry. They didn't pull the insect out of him. They put it in him.
He put it in him.
Okay.
Now is it before this that his mouth disappears?
Yes, I was just
What?
remembering. So before this, Mr. Anderson's like
Hugo Weaving.
Neo is like, I want my phone call.
Read me my Miranda rights.
Yeah, and Mr. Anderson, or sorry, the agent who says Mr. Anderson, he's like, what good is a phone call when you can't speak?
Right. Good line.
Yeah,
then his
and
mouth
it cuts back
disappears.
to
Got-
Neo, and he's got no mouth.
It like melts. He's like, "Mom, mom, mom," and then his lips start like fusing together.
Yeah.
Ew.
And so that's when stuff really
So
gets
what is-
funky
So hold on. This really happened to him?
in the Matrix.
I'm
yes.
so confused. I'm genuinely
Oh,
confused.
so that starts happening, and then they implant him with this slug-like, and as it's going through his belly button,
Okay.
as it's like digging its way, we then cut, and he's in his bed, and he wakes up.
Right.
So it was a dream.
Maybe. But was it?
I don't know. I know.
It wasn't a dream.
But
Okay.
right after he wakes up, the phone rings. Guess who it is?
Morpheus.
Carrie Ass Man. Is it?
No, it's Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne.
played
No?
wonderfully by Lawrence Fishburne.
All right. Okay.
And he says, "Does this when they go to like the club or whatever? And when he meets up with
Yeah. So
Trinity?
he's told to go to like club. He meets up with Trinity.
Trinity Bellwoods.
Trinity Bellwoods. Trinity Bellwoods.
For those of you listening who don't know what that is there's a park in Toronto. It is also a brewery in Toronto.
Bellwoods,
We
baby.
are
It's
Toronto
also the female lead in The Matrix.
The one woman.
Carrie
female.
Assman.
Played by Carrie
What a
Assman.
discovery.
Okay.
So he meets up with her. She's like, is that when that happens? He gets pulled into a car at some point.
Yeah, he gets pulled in a car, and that's where we meet
The
that blonde
bug.
woman,
Oh,
Oh, there is a lady. Okay.
one of
So
the
who-
other women in the Matrix.
Right.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's she?
She's part of the resistance as well, and they pull out their own little machine in the back of this car, and
So you go through it all over again.
well, they undo what
they
has been
pull
done.
out the bug.
Oh, for
Yeah,
So actually, to think
Oh,
about it,
so
they
then
put the
it
bug in him.
definitely-
He has a bug in him for like half a scene. Like, what's the point of putting this bug in him and then they pull it right back out?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess the agents were
True.
like, because it's like a tracker, right?
Oh, yeah,
Essentially, these
it's
agents
tracking
put it in
him.
to track him.
Yeah, because they knew the resistance was going after him, so they wanted
So
to
they
find
wanted
the
to track the
resistance.
resistance.
But they have this
Okay.
machine to suck out the tracker. But
And then now you know it's not a dream.
right,
That
that
first
thing
part
wasn't
wasn't a dream.
because the
Okay.
bug comes out
Yeah.
and Keanu's like, "Oh, what? That actually
Oh my
happened."
god!
But it's all nasty.
Yeah. So
And
all
it's, like,
that
covered in goo.
there's conversation that happens, not super
People
important.
talk.
But this is where Neo finally meets Morpheus.
In the car.
No.
They take him to some
It's
like,
like a-
decrepit,
Yeah,
but there's nice chairs. Morphe's is a nice leather
it's
chair,
very decrepit,
Decrepit.
but there's nice chairs.
and like the
Bar?
production design is great.
Yeah.
No, it's like a
It's like an old apartment or old like
Yeah, like a
brownstone
classy,
house, like
Okay.
yeah,
but it's decrepit.
Okay.
But the chairs are nice.
Okay.
like nice like red leather, right?
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
Red leather, yellow.
And then we get to this monumental scene in cinematic history
Wow.
where Morpheus presents Mr. Anderson with the choice to either discover what the Matrix is or go back to his usual day-to-day life. And it is
Represented by the red
The
pill and the
pills.
blue pill. The
Okay.
red pill is let's reverse. The blue pill
Mm.
is going back to his day-to-day life and just forgetting that all this ever happened. Or
He
the
would
red
actually
pill,
forget, or he would know that this happened.
I think
No,
he would forget.
I think he
the
would
deal.
forget. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the red pill, which would allow him to discover what the Matrix is and go down the rabbit hole, as it were. And that is referenced in the scene. Or do you want to go down the rabbit hole?
Okay. But so if he had chose the blue pill, okay. In my mind, he's gonna get chased by those agents either way.
Well, I don't know what the agents. I feel like as long as he's not
'Cause why are they
fraternizing
chasing
with
him
the,
now?
because they know that the resistance is interested. But if they
If
cast him aside and he's no longer being
I
pursued
thought
by
they were
them,
fortune tellers.
It's because Neo is the one.
he's the one.
He is
The chosen
prophesized.
one. Okay, so then
There's a
And
prophecy.
Morpheus just knows he's going to pick the red pill.
if there was a prophecy, okay, whatever. Point is mute. Okay.
Mute or moot?
Moot.
Smee?
I definitely said moot.
You said mute.
No, I
You said
didn't.
mute. The
He
point is
takes the
mute.
red pill.
No, I don't think I did.
He decides he's going to take the red pill.
Okay.
And then
so he's going down the rabbit hole.
right. Okay, and this part is weird, and I've never really
Because he actually fell down a rabbit hole?
no.
Oh.
He's seated beside a mirror. Will, can you speak to this? He's seated after he takes the red pill. He's sitting beside a mirror.
Yeah, it's a broken mirror, and they sit him down in a chair, and he takes the red pill, and the mirror fixes itself somehow.
Something it
magically.
like starts shimmering,
Yeah.
and then Neo like on his own accord reaches out and touches the mirror, and it's like liquidy, and then it's like silvery, like quicksilver. It starts like taking over his body.
Yeah,
So is that
Yeah,
That's like the mechanism they use to get him into
basically
out of the Matrix.
Out of the Matrix. It
So the
covers
mirror
his
is
bump.
actually
It's like a portal or like
It's like the Terminator 2 liquid or something.
It did exactly.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
another film
Film
I've
you haven't
not
seen.
So I
We should
don't
avoid making
understand.
any references. It's like that Family Guy there.
You've
That
probably
would be
seen a
much
reference.
better.
So I always was weirded out by that because they don't tell him touch this mirror. He's just like, oh shit, look at this crazy mirror, and then he
just
touches
touches
it,
it.
and it's like so nondescript.
No,
and
but
like,
that would absolutely warrant a touch, right? If the mirror was broken and then it seemed like it was fixed, I would touch it to
I guess,
feel the
but
grooves.
it's just like so, like every day. It's in this room filled with other pieces of furniture. So why
okay, but I
did
guess
they
if this
design
guy,
this mirror to become?
like, why
the
not just
portal?
have the machine?
Or why
Or,
not just
like-
like have a jar of this silver goo and pour it on him or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a weird way to, because after
Maybe it's another
does
metaphor.
That, does he just wake up right after that?
Yeah.
He wakes up
wakes
again.
He
That would
no,
frustrate-
okay. He doesn't wake up in a bed. He wakes up in
For
a
the first
fucking,
time.
like, pink womb pouch.
Yes. In a pink womb pouch. That's accurate. That's pretty accurate.
It's like a big pink fleshy cocoon.
Yeah.
Ew.
He wakes up. He wakes up in a bunch of pink goo. He's completely
He's
naked, but he's
naked.
completely hairless too. He's like a baby,
Yeah.
basically.
There's no eyebrows. He has all these
Ew.
tubes coming out of his spinal cord and stuff.
It's like feeding him. He's all
and
Ew.
So it's basically a metaphor for rebirth, like
It's-
110%.
well, it's his actual first birth.
It's his-
it's
it's
the
his
first
first
time that he's actually waking up
yeah.
because he has
Huh?
now exited the Matrix.
So wait, people are born in the non-matrix as full humans.
Oh, wait.
So there's no children in the non-matrix.
It might be a
Or
time
are
to
you just
actually
always
explain
stuck?
what the Matrix is.
We should
because
explain.
they basically explain to him right after the scene what the Matrix
Okay,
is.
so what
So the Matrix,
is the pink womb?
No,
No.
that's the real world.
the Matrix is our world. Is like this world with trees, like everything.
We're in the Matrix right
It's a
now.
big computer system, basically, that all humans are plugged into because the world has actually gone to shit. It's like completely blown up and everyone's living underground and all humans are plugged into the Matrix
Why?
so that they don't have to live in this shitty world.
Yeah,
Who
it's
plugged
just like
them in?
these robots that took over the planet
Yeah. So
How
they
did they
just-
take over the planet?
by overpowering us.
is this
just
like this is like Matrix Reloaded stuff though, isn't it? Do we know the history or
well, I don't know. And then there's that like anime series. Did you ever watch that?
no? No, I didn't actually watch the
There was like
animation.
this series of short films that explored it more. But essentially, he says, I forget what year it is, but he says, in your world, it's 1999 or what have you. But in actuality, it's the year 2150 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they created this simulation of what life was like
Just to make
back in
people
the
feel
90s.
better?
Yeah, essentially just to like pacify these humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point is that these robots are harvesting humans to use. Morpheus holds up a little battery and is like, "You guys are this battery, guys."
So the humans power the robots,
Yeah,
and so
right.
the robots. It's not so much that they're looking to console humans; they're looking to distract them while they harvest them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the robots are
I mean, but couldn't they just?
I mean, really,
They don't
could
need to distract them.
No,
Really.
but then that wouldn't be a good movie.
Sure. Okay.
the robots are actually the agents.
What?
So the agents in the Matrix are actually the robots
Is that
trying
true
to
too?
find like yeah.
What are these robots like then?
Oh,
Ooh.
the
You
robots
encounter them?
they're all tentacly. They've got like
Just for so those people that can't see, Ryan just started like waving his arms around.
They're like
with
little
no
squids.
Context.
yeah, they're little squids with like 25 red eyes.
Yeah, they got a bunch of eyes and a bunch of arms, and they like
But,
swim
like-
around.
But like techno I was gonna say like
Like they're
technical
robots.
tentacle arms.
Technical
like,
tentacles.
Techno tentacles.
they're like metal arms, but they look like squids. They do, and
Okay.
it's hard to do. They look like they swim around. They're flying
Yeah,
around.
they do look like they're
They
swimming.
just float around. They're futuristic squid bots.
Okay. Well, it's 2150, so
Yeah.
So anything can happen.
yeah, we're
21,
actually
yeah.
not in that year yet for once.
They don't even talk
For
about climate
once.
change.
In,
Finally,
well,
in this
usually
movie.
when they have films, they're like in 2001, we'll have robots.
Right.
But,
But
that never.
2 years from the
happened.
Matrix. Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, they
80s
talked about
movies.
how the robots were solar powered, and then they like put all this stuff in the atmosphere to block out the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So in the real world, it's totally dark all the time. Or not totally dark, but
what?
like pretty dark.
So is that how the robots can live in darkness? Like, why
Because
would
they use humans as batteries, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think they would want like a full, ripe, like primed human as opposed to like an anemic, like
Well, no,
sheltered human?
They're
They,
like
like-
sucking life from him through these
Tubes.
These tubes.
So how
embryonic
come-
tubes.
Why wouldn't? So they've been tubed up for a long time.
Yeah,
You
since
could
they were
assume.
like babies, they've been gestating and growing in these pods.
In these pods, and
These
they
pink
when do they
worms.
die?
When they die in the Matrix, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah, because their mind is active. It's kind of like Inception. Have you seen Inception?
I've seen Inception.
All right. Well, when they die in the Matrix, they die in real life.
Or like in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
If you
Can't
die in
reference
your
that. You
dreams.
can't reference that.
There was.
I understand the concept, I guess, of like if you die
was on
in this
Family
place,
Guy.
you'll die in real life.
Yeah.
So
Oh, but yeah, it was if you poop in your dream.
Yeah.
You poop in
the
your
year,
That's
the year is
Family
actually
Guy reference.
2199.
It
So
was.
exactly,
21.99. Oh.
it's
I
exactly
I remember.
100 years.
Sorry, the Family Guy reference was the poop, because I remember like Lois wakes up and she's like, Peter, and he's like,
Oh,
he's
God.
just like hiding under the covers, and he's like, if you poop in the dream, you poop in real life.
Okay, so this is like that exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
All right.
So it's actually 2199. It's 100 years
Okay.
in the future.
200 years? 99 to
Yeah. Is it? Wait,
20. Yeah, 200 years.
it's 200 years.
Okay.
Really?
Math.
Yeah, it is 200. It's 200 years in the future.
Damn.
All right.
I math.
Okay.
So now he's
there's
in the real
pods.
world. He's awake. They're in these like spaceships, but that are underground or something.
Yeah, they're like underground
but they're like
spaceships.
floating, but they're underground.
The whole world is very confusing
Okay.
in this movie. But they're on Morpheus' spaceship, and it's just one of many spaceships.
His pod is in the spaceship.
So his pod
No.
is actually in
In the
all
farm.
the regular pods, but they kind of sneak in and they take him.
They open up his
They
pod.
extract
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
They take him before the robots get to him, and he wakes up. He's got a full head of hair by now. I don't know how long it's actually been when he wakes up.
Oh,
Well, he
but
doesn't
time
have-
has passed.
He
hasn't
doesn't
just,
have
like,
hair.
gone.
He's always bald in the real
Oh,
world.
I guess
right?
yeah, he's got hair. He's got
Is everyone bald?
okay. Sorry,
Um,
yeah, he's got a bit of hair. He's not as clean shaven as he was when he woke up in the pod.
Okay.
Sure.
But,
Hovercraft. I'm at the Wikipedia page.
For what?
Morpheus' ship is a hovercraft, and it's spelled very difficultly.
So they
The Nebuchadnezzar, but he says it like Nebuchadnezzar. But it's spelled with so many letters, and I feel like that's a reference to something. But his ship is called the Nebuchadnezzar. Ooh, the King of Babylon. That's what it's in reference to.
the Nebuchadnezzar.
So there's a lot of
themes.
and references.
God.
So this is the scene where you remember probably most is he's awakened from the Matrix. He gets explained, what the world is actually like, and then Neo's all like, "You wanted to know what the Matrix is? Well, I'm going to show you." And so,
Is this the dojo scene?
yes,
Oh.
so he
Yeah,
sits down in a chair. So
baby.
everyone in the real world has like a socket on the back of their neck, and that's how they get plugged into the Matrix.
They're
They
like
can-
outlets. They're
Yeah.
just like giant outlets.
this is like big like Ethernet inputs thing,
Okay.
and then it's like
Mom, get off the phone. Remember?
Sorry, it
Only
does or does
90s
not do
kids
the
will
dial
remember
tone.
it does not do the
It does
dial.
not do the dial tone. Okay.
So they
Tell me anything.
they
and
sit
I'd
him
be
down in a
like, "For real?"
chair, they plug it into the back of his neck, and that's where we get. And what they're plugging him to their own software, their own matrix, not the main matrix, because they don't want to go.
You know, apps on your
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, I know.
You have one of those smartphones?
I have a smartphone.
Can I debut my character who's slightly familiar with smartphones?
No.
Let's do a scene.
Okay,
Okay, here it is. Oh, hey, Will.
yeah.
Oh, that's you got one of those smartphones, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, I've heard about those. And scene. So that's it. It's pretty.
Okay.
So they plug them in. They plug them into their own smaller matrix
demo.
software.
It's like an
Yeah, and he wakes up in a completely white blank space.
Right.
And then all this cool shit happens. They like all the scenes like they bring him to, they just kind of like rush in, and suddenly it's like there. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
boom. So he wakes up, and they call it a loading platform. And he brings him to. So what they do, he's like, "This is what the world looks like to you in the Matrix, the city, the modern city." And then he's like, "This is what it actually looks like." And then it like wipes away, and it's literally just like this desolate, apocalyptic, like wasteland of a city with the robots like flying around and stuff.
But that was still in the Matrix. He's just showing them.
But it's like
a green.
It's a simulation.
visualization
Yeah.
Oh
of
yeah.
the
Oh,
real
it's like
world.
virtual reality.
It's like VR.
Got you. Okay.
It's VR in the Matrix, which is already kind of VR,
Okay.
but
It's VR within VR.
Cool.
It's a virtual reality of reality.
yeah. Anyway, he finds out that this is what the Matrix is, and everything's revealed now that the world is in shambles.
Okay.
Yes, but at this point,
Get to the dojo, baby.
What about the dojo? I know that it happened. Okay, so let's say They gotta
this
go.
isn't the dojo scene.
It's
yet.
not. Oh
No.
God. This
You
is
guys
just like
jumped
the
ahead?
No,
He's just
he can't believe this information. He's like, "Fuck you! No, this is not real." And he
He's
yells at
rejecting
him.
the idea.
Yeah, he yells at him to like take him away. And
Give
so
me the
they
blue
unplug
pill.
him from, and he goes and he runs off, and he's all like, "No, this is
He's
not
just
real."
running around in this.
No,
desolate-
like they unplug him, and he runs off in the spaceship to his quarters, and he's all sad, and he's all like angry, and he's all like, "I wish I didn't take the red pill," basically.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't want to wake up from the dream.
But he took that pill and can't
And
go
then
back.
this is where Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity, comes in, and this is the start of their like, we're
Will they,
young,
won't they?
and good looking. We're gonna talk.
We're
We're
gonna.
young. We're
That's how
good
all
looking.
relationships-
Let's
Well,
just
that's how
fall
these
in love.
'90s movies work. So,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be an old woman.
No,
You wouldn't be an old man.
no, not at all.
So they talk. I don't. Man, I was really just revved up for this dojo scene.
It's not prepared.
So they
for the
talk.
next
She
bit.
convinces him, like,
to stay.
yeah, she convinces him that like this is the world and we need him and blah blah blah. They don't tell him he's the one. Though. They don't go, "You're the one."
Because that'd probably be too much pressure. He's already like,
Of course,
"Meh,
yeah.
I don't wanna."
Yeah. It's like, yeah, Dumbledore not telling Harry Potter he's the one.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Have you seen Harry Potter?
I've seen but not the last.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, no. Harry Potter is told he's the one right off the bat, isn't he?
No, not off the bat. No.
Are you sure?
Once he's
So they sort of hint to Neo that he's the one. They don't tell him straight out.
right.
But Morpheus tells him that there is a prophecy that there was a man born into the Matrix who could create his own matrix within the Matrix, basically. Create his own.
So it's like, oh man, what's that when you're dreaming and you lucid dreaming? Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know how so lucid dreaming is when you can somewhat control your dreams. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like what they would, I
Yeah.
assume, are playing on.
Sort of, yeah. So they said, like, there was a man and that's who set everyone else free, why they're all unconnected to the Matrix. And that
Where'd
that
he
guy
go?
died, but that it was prophesized that he would be reincarnated. It's a very
So
Jesus story.
convenient.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Neo is Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't tell him that, but they tell him this story and that someone is going to be reincarnated as that person who can create a new reality inside the Matrix.
Okay.
And they say the Oracle prophesized it.
Wonder if we'll meet her later.
We might meet her later. The Oracle.
So is it Trinity?
no.
She's
No,
like
no.
the only lady.
No, there's
Oh,
another
okay.
lady.
Hey,
The Oracle's the
there
other
we go.
lady.
We're slowly discovering.
discovering all the women
of
in this
the
film.
Matrix. Very
Excellent.
good.
Goes to show you. And,
They did in
Many
fact
films.
cast females
Wonderful.
in
well, you'd
the
hope.
late 90s. Well, there's got to
So-
be somebody to support the lead.
So now that Neo has decided that he's going to hop on and be down for this whole Matrix gig, he
His job's sick.
he needs to start training, and that's
This is the dojo scene. Okay.
Yes.
Finally. Great.
Yes.
So do they go to the Matrix to do this dojo, or they have it on the ship?
No, because he
It's
doesn't have
not-
any powers outside of the Matrix.
Oh.
They only have their powers inside the Matrix because they know
So they're
it's the
just
Matrix.
regular people?
So yeah, they're just regular people outside of the Matrix.
But this is the beauty of understanding
lucid
the
dreams.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Is that once you know that it's not actual reality, then you can bend the rules.
110% the Matrix is... The whole movie sounds like it's just talking about lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I mean, they probably did some research about lucid dreaming.
Have you researched lucid dreaming? This is 100%.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple lucid dreams.
I always fly.
I was just talking yesterday about this guy that I went to high school with that got really into lucid dreaming when I was in grade 11. And he would go to sleep with a pack of Trident gum in his hand, and he'd look at it as he drifted off. And then he's like, once I woke up and the gum didn't say Trident anymore, then I knew I was in a dream. And he was in like my chemistry class or something, and he'd be like, man, I came to this class last night in my dream. And so, and then he was like,
All right.
I flew away.
Side story: I've got a lucid dream.
always fly away.
My first lucid dream is I fell asleep on my couch in my living room back home when I was little. I woke up on that couch, but I knew I didn't actually wake up. It was a dream. I walked into my kitchen. I saw a glass of water, and then I looked at the water and I said, "No, that's chocolate milk." And I took the glass of water, I drank it, and it tasted like chocolate milk. So I like made the water chocolate milk, and I got so excited. Then I just woke up. Like I literally woke up
I've done
on
that.
the couch. On the couch I fell asleep on. I was like, I just lucid dreamed, and I'd like researched lucid dreams before then. I was hoping so bad to have a lucid dream.
Wow. So that was like
That's
your
not water,
little Matrix.
That is,
And
that
a bit
is-
of another Jesus allegory here. The man who turned water into chocolate milk. You're like the Neo of your own
time.
subconscious.
Yes.
I'd rather have chocolate milk than wine. I
Yeah,
don't know about
I
you.
mean,
Right. So
so
they go back into the
we're at the dojo now.
We're in
yeah.
the
Yes,
dojo.
which
So
is
that's a
also their made up matrix. They're like a little semi software
saved
that's
down.
not the actual matrix.
At
Yeah.
least the next 30 minutes, we should talk about this dojo.
Yeah. So that's where the dojo comes in because they're like, well, in order to fight the agents, we need to train you.
Okay, yeah.
So they go in the dojo, and what happens is Keanu's like, or Morpheus is like, well, you're gonna fight me, and Keanu's like, I don't know how to fight. And then they talk to do they talk to Cypher or the other guy?
Who's Cypher?
Okay, yeah, we should go over the names of the crew members because they all have cool, like,
there's crew
techno
members.
names.
Yeah,
So there's Cypher, there's Tank, I think is one
Tank,
of them.
yeah, Tank,
Um,
Cypher.
There's one that I remember that I want to save for last because it's my favorite.
There's Trinity. There's
Trinity.
Morpheus. Neo's now part of the
Who's
crew.
the other lady? Let's brainstorm some
Oh.
names.
Okay,
Hard
there's-
drive.
There we go.
Hard drive.
Okay,
Login
Remember?
screen.
there's APOC.
APOC. Cool.
He's got flowing black hair.
Gigabyte.
There's
Gigabyte.
Yo,
Switch.
remember?
Hexadecimal.
Oh, yeah. I was
Bob.
going to say, remember?
These are just from
Dot.
Reboot.
Yeah,
Dozer.
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 Okay,
And then-
yeah, Tank and Dozer.
And then there's a little young guy,
whose name is Mouse.
Mouse.
Aw.
Like
And
a
then-
computer.
And then, sorry, just the blonde woman we meet in the car
Oh, yes.
is her name.
Unnamed.
She probably genuinely didn't have a name.
Her name is
Matrix Woman number
Oh, that's
2.
Switch. That's Switch.
Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her name's Switch. So there's Switch,
Dozer. Tank.
Mouse, Dozer,
Cypher.
Cypher.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Keyboard. Trackpad.
Yeah, Tank and
USB board.
Dozer
Hexadecimal.
are
dot,
like
and
Hexadecimal.
are
Bob.
brothers. Tank and Dozer are brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they talk to Cypher outside of their little matrix because they can communicate him within this matrix.
With a phone?
No, just with
No.
like he's listening in because it's their own little program.
So
they-
all that green text stuff,
Yeah.
like the people in the real world learn to read that
Yeah.
and see it as the Matrix.
Yeah,
like,
they can read
the
it.
worlds,
They can see like
they
everything
can
that's happening.
translate it to what is
Huh?
happening.
Yeah.
So they see all the screen and like, oh, he's in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Or
it's a
whatever.
computer
Oh.
code. He can read the computer
So
code
it
and know
would
what's
be-
happening. Yeah.
I understand.
So
Okay.
Cypher, played by Joe Pantoliano.
So who is that?
Yeah.
He's in the Goonies, which Alenka hasn't seen.
All right.
I've not seen.
Who is he one of the gang in the Goonies?
Yeah, he's the guy who eats the steak. Oh, in the Goonies?
Oh,
In the Goonies,
yes.
he's
Okay, I remember
one of the mob brothers in the Goonies.
Oh, okay.
But he's an actor. He's been around for a while. He's a great character actor.
Pantaleone.
Pantaleone. Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Pantaleone. He's
Joey Pants.
So he's one of he's one of the
Pants Cataloni.
he's one of the guys who reads the Matrix and is always on the other end in the chair communicating. He never goes into the Matrix.
Okay.
So anyway, they call up to him and they're like, Cypher, download Kung Fu program. And suddenly Neo goes, ugh. And then he goes, I know Kung Fu.
And then the greatest contribution to culture from the Matrix is this from the Matrix where they like does the kung fu pose and then goes like and like does his little hand
He
like
does the hand
come at me,
gesture
bro.
to yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think Bruce Lee did that in a movie one
Oh,
time.
probably. Ugh, God. Ugh.
But yeah, so then they have a fight, and it's weird because they're like, we need to train you, but at the same time, they just downloaded a kung fu program into him. He should already know his shit.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
But I guess he needs to like get accustomed
Yeah.
to the programming.
He needs to know the short
it's
codes,
like-
the short keys.
maybe
Right.
it's like walking in water, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's different, but it's the same.
Well, Neo can walk on water because he's Jesus.
Right.
We can
Chop the
walk
milk,
on water.
baby.
So they go through a whole training. It's not even it's not a montage or anything. They like have kung
It's like
fu.
a nice big fight sequence.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's about it. Like it's just that little
Is-
fight sequence.
This where they lean back?
No.
Oh.
No, that
Comes
happens a lot later.
There's like a jumping thing too, right? A rooftop jumping.
Yeah,
Is that part
there's
of
a
this
lot-
sequence?
Yeah, there's a lot of gravity-defying tricks in this.
He's like, yo, like, we got to jump across this building.
Yeah.
But you can't do it unless you believe. It's pretty much like Peter Pan too. It's a Peter Pan analogy.
Yeah, and they just keep.
Well, I mean, Peter Pan analogy
So-
is that isn't the whole, like, conspiracy of Peter Pan is, like, that they're dead?
What?
Isn't the whole conspiracy of Peter Pan that they're dead?
Okay, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like the flying thing. Like you got to think happy thoughts and
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that
Have you
is-
seen the movie Hook?
yeah.
Have you seen it?
It's
as
been
me,
apparently
So-
a long time.
So they have the fight scene, and then they keep downloading more like fight techniques into him, and they're all super. See, all of them know that he might be the one. They haven't told him that, but they all know. They're like, he's supposed to be the one, and they're all impressed by his way to ingest like
The data.
fight data, and like completely use it right away.
So I assume not everybody can do that.
No, he learns pretty quickly, and they're all like, "Oh,
Oh.
Bit of a quick learner.
So they think that they're going to have to train him, but he's just like, I got it.
yeah." And this is where they learn. This is where they learn about the fact that like the Matrix operates under regular world rules, regular real life rules, but like every rule, it can be broken, and that's where he learns how to, jump onto a roof or like dodge and like fly. Basically, he learns how to break that code in the Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they go to the Oracle soon? Is that coming up? I feel like the spoon thing.
It might be.
It's
Is
coming up,
soon.
I think. We can probably. They have a whole fight scene. He gets basically. This is the scene where they're like, "All right, now we got to establish that Keanu Reeves, Neo, can fight like a badass."
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
What happens after the dojo scene? So he's
I mean,
okay,
does it
he's
matter?
committed.
So
does it
he's
matter?
committed. They're down
Yeah,
to.
nothing really matters after the dojo scene. That's
No,
it.
That's the.
So what's his point then? To end the robots?
Oh, good question.
Oh,
yeah. I
So-
guess right.
Yeah, his point is that like they're fighting against the robots. They're trying to. Basically, I think the goal is they want to unplug everyone from the Matrix.
Yeah.
They-
Because there's only like a small subset of people that
And
have
they think-
escaped.
They
Yeah.
would be able to restore life to what it was.
Yeah,
That's kinda stupid.
Long term.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it's
It's
a
a
long-
very like they got to work their whole lives, and then the next people have to work their whole lives, and probably it's
Don't
like
they
an
think
allegory
that-
for global warming.
Don't
Ooh,
they think that
yeah.
if they unplugged everybody, that like they should be selective until they've crafted like the world to be better?
Selective What, and who they unplug?
Yeah, to
That's
start.
a good point. What if they only unplugged like badass people?
To start, I
You
think
can't get
you
a-
would have to.
You just leave all
Because
the
so many
assholes
people-
plugged in.
Just
Like, oh no, I went to high
keep
school with that
'em.
guy.
I didn't love
Leave him
him.
plugged. No, that's a great point.
Yeah. So in this dojo scene as well, they go to buildings and they input a jump program, and that's where they start jumping over buildings
Good stuff.
so that they can
Oh,
defy
it's
gravity
like a
in
Mario
that way.
level in
Yeah.
Mario
It's
World.
like
this is a
Mario.
it's
So they're
like Mario.
programming him with all these things because when they go into the Matrix, he can keep those programs into him. That's
Okay.
why he has the plug-in, because he himself, like humans, are kind of like computers too in that world.
Yeah, it's like an app on a smartphone.
It's all just like an app on a
It's like an
smartphone.
app.
You've heard of those.
Yeah, Ryan, everyone actually develops apps.
You know, I know my way around an app or two. So,
Do you want to plug any of the apps you've made?
no.
Okay, so they're not that good. Don't worry about it. Okay, so he's on board, and then
So he's on board. He sees the girl in the red dress. The girl in the red dress turns into an agent and points a gun at him. And then they wake him up and they're
Right.
like, "Who was that? Who are these people?" And they're like, "They're sentient programs," meaning they're robots who have become sentient,
what's that word?
meaning like they're kind of alive. They're not. They're more than just artificial intelligence. They're real.
They have consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they're even more dangerous.
right.
And a lot of stuff happens. He gets a lot of character development with all the rest of the crew.
Yeah,
He meets, we start to see that Cypher isn't always happy on the ship.
Cypher's got a little something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's got a
This guy that
bit
eats
of
steak?
a. This is a steak guy. Yeah,
This is a steak guy.
this is a steak guy.
He's a steak guy.
He talks to Neo and he's like, I every time I have a steak in the Matrix, I know that it's not a real steak, so I can't enjoy it. Every now and then, I'd like to just have real steak. I think maybe.
I think maybe.
I think he says that.
I
It's
just
basically
want a
like
nice.
computer steak,
juicy
not as
steak.
good as real steak.
But
What happened
he
to
doesn't know what
cows
real
in the
steak
real world?
is. He would never know, wouldn't he? Would he actually know what a real steak is like?
So his point is that he doesn't. He's like, who cares if it's real steak or not?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, steak in the Matrix is as real as steak anywhere else.
So can he just be happy with the steak he has?
He doesn't have
No.
steak. They eat an
There is no
oatmeal gruel.
It's a gruel.
Yeah, but in the
yeah,
Matrix,
like a-
he can have the steak.
No, but he
but
doesn't.
it's not real.
Yeah, but he
knows
could
it's not
have
real.
the steak.
But he doesn't actually have it.
Yeah.
But it probably tastes like steak.
But it's a fake taste.
Yeah,
It's-
but he
it's
doesn't even
really-
know what the real thing tastes like.
But he, oh God, you don't get the Matrix.
That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. So the next time they get plugged into the Matrix, this is where Neo goes to visit the Oracle, who's the sightseer, the
Our
prophesizer.
third
Is that Lucy
female.
Liu?
no.
I don't know
No,
why I just felt like it would be
it's
her.
an actress. I haven't looked. You want to look her up?
Sure, we can give her a plug. See what she's up to.
Anyway,
Oracle.
they get plugged in. They go see the Oracle, but we see Cypher is he's a little sneaky, and he throws his cell phone into the garbage.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Well, that's his communication device in the Matrix. That's how
With-
he can communicate to people up there.
So he's in the Matrix,
Yeah, they're all in the Matrix.
and he has thrown his cell
And they
phone.
all have their own cell phones, which are like specially coded so they can communicate outside of the Matrix to the other team
Okay.
members who
to
are
the
outside.
people that would be reading.
Yeah, reading the Matrix code.
The
So
code,
we see him throw them out. So we're like, ooh, there's something not right with Cyrus.
Okay.
Cypress. No, Cypher.
Cypress.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Okay,
So
so,
he's-
the
yeah.
Oracle
The Oracle.
is played by Gloria Foster.
I'm pretty sure it's Lucy Liu.
She died 2 weeks after 9/11 from
Oh.
diabetes.
But not from 9/11.
No, but
That's
it was
important.
she died in New York City, September 29th, 2001.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So they meet. He meets the Oracle, and she's like
Lucy Liu.
New York lady who.
That's not who I envisioned.
It's not Lucy Liu.
She's not in all white.
Hmm?
I just feel like the Oracle would be, and this
No,
isn't a
No,
thing.
this is the nice. It's like a
She's like-
juxtaposition
yeah.
where she has all this power, but she's in like a Brooklyn apartment where she's
got all these kids. It's like she's like a nanny or she's like a babysitter of all these kids.
there's like a waiting room with
She's
all
in the
these
Matrix?
people that are.
Yeah, this is in the Matrix,
He's meeting her in the Matrix.
aka
Why
our
can't
world,
he meet her in real life?
because she's not unplugged. She lives in the Matrix.
I don't
Is that right?
understand.
Yeah.
How can
She's-
you
Or is
see
she
an
sorry.
Oracle?
even a
No,
person?
the
though?
Oracle is not a person. She's a program. So
Right.
she's not a person. She's a program.
Who made the Matrix?
We don't know that until
The third movie.
the third movie.
So who made the Matrix?
Do you want us to spoil it?
This whole podcast is of spoilers. So
I guess,
would
but that's a
say-
different movie. The architect of the Matrix is the architect. So
He's like this old bearded white guy, all in white and a white face, and he lives in a little like
white
building
room.
with like
it's like that
Screens
song
all
"Blue," but white.
For white. Okay, so
I live in a blue room, a white room. I have a white shirt.
okay.
so he meets the Oracle.
Pause for a second though. It says the architect is pro robot or con robot,
He's neither. He's like
He's simply the
but
architect.
he made
simply-
the distraction.
he created the Matrix, and he's just been watching, and he doesn't do anything about it.
Yes, he is like
He sounds like a
Uatu
total
the
dumbass.
Watcher,
He's in
and
it.
an unbiased observer.
Yeah,
But he
I actually
made
don't
the
remember.
distraction.
I do really don't.
details
Yeah, I
of
don't
the
remember. This,
architect.
like
Different
if he's-
movie.
He's kind of like he's neutral. He's not
he
good
put
or bad.
in the Oracle though, so he does have an opinion.
No, I don't know where the Oracle came from. I don't
But
know
if it's
what
a
her
program
exact-
in the Matrix, she would have
Yeah.
to be created from the architect.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle is like the agent. She's a sentient program, but she works for the Resistance. She gives the Resistance a heads up on these things because she's
Don't like this. Too many holes.
We,
well, you
but
know,
we get
it is
the
a
great spoon scene out of this
Yes.
sequence where there's a small child that is like
yeah, all
dressed
these
like a Buddhist
yeah.
monk or something.
all these children are like they're like Neos in that they're all children who will eventually probably be unplugged from the Matrix and help with the Resistance, and they're all kind of they're
In
smarter
training.
than the average Matrix person.
They know what the Matrix is.
And this little girl's bending a spoon with her mind, and
she
then
can do that in lucid dreaming.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, they say like the trick. What does he say? It's like it's a famous line.
well, Neo's like, how do you do that? And then she's all like, there is no spoon.
There is no spoon,
The spoon
Oh.
does not exist, right?
so you can do whatever you want because
Yeah.
it ain't there, bucko.
So does he bend a spoon too?
No.
No, he
Okay.
doesn't quite do that. Nope, wait.
Does he?
Neo bends the spoon.
Really? Oh, I think it's a little. It's like a subtle.
It's a subtle bend.
He's like starting
and then
to,
just
the
kind of-
Oracle calls
okay.
him in.
and she's like, "You ain't the one, baby."
Ain't?
No.
Yeah, she's like, you're not the one, Neo. Because this is the reason they're going to visit the Oracle is to find out if Neo's the one, because the Oracle will know.
Oh.
Because the Oracle prophesies the one coming back.
Mm,
And she's all like,
no.
you're not the one,
Negative.
baby. I think she
You're
says
not
baby.
the one,
yeah.
baby.
She
Alright.
does say it.
I'm
doesn't
really
she?
getting a vision of what this character's like. I think I like her.
She's like a sweet old Nana.
Okay.
That's honestly what she
Brooklyn.
is.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
Okay.
So the
sweet
Oracle says
old-
no. So then the movie ends, and then I'm like, well, I guess we'll find another one. And then the next movie has
that little girl that bent the spoon.
has Uma Thurman, and she is the one. In an exciting twist.
So they exit. They're gonna go back. They're gonna go back outside of the Matrix, and then Neo notices a cat do something. And
Okay.
earlier on, he saw the same cat do the same thing.
This is
and
deja vu.
he goes, "Whoa, deja vu!" And then they go,
Whoa.
"What?"
What?
And they say, "No, deja vu is actually just a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
Something's fucked.
Something's fucky."
Oh, like this is a bad omen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're panicking?
Yeah, because they're supposed to go to they usually go to a payphone or
Oh,
a
wait.
hardline phone
That's a hard line.
Thank you.
to get back out of the Matrix. That's how they get out of the Matrix. They need a hard line, not
Not a soft line.
It's a hard line straight
Right,
out
I
of
get
the
it.
Matrix.
So
Like a
payphone.
payphone. Like
Yeah.
a phone that's connected to the land.
So
Yeah.
a hard line.
And they go to the line that they're supposed to use, and it's not working. Nothing's going on. And that's where we find out that Cypher is the one who sabotaged them.
He's a saboteur. He's a con inside, negative, bad man, antagonist. He's bad news. He wants to eat steak,
That's why.
but
he's
he
doing
wants to
this
eat
all
real
for
steak. It's all about the steak. So yeah, he like meets with we see him meeting with the machines,
yeah.
and they persuade him. What is
Do they give him steak sauce?
yeah.
Well, we don't see. Well, we see our first death in the film,
Oh,
and it's the young whippersnapper,
Huh?
Mouse.
Mouse dies.
Mouse
I don't
dies.
remember this.
Yeah,
does
he
he
gets
die?
riddled with bullets by the agents because basically
shit.
the agents know where they are now because
in the
Cypher has told them.
Matrix.
Yeah.
And he's
And
a little
he-
boy.
Well, no, he's a man. He's a grown man, but he's like
He's a young.
He's
he's
gentleman.
a
young
young,
boy?
skinny dude,
He just gets
and he gets riddled with
Lead.
bullets. Just
through the chest.
and then you see back in the real world on the Nebuchadnezzar on the spaceship, you see him in the chair like
Oh yeah.
shaking
Freaking
convulsing.
and like spurting blood. So
Right.
we see him die in the chair as he
You
dies in the
die
Matrix.
You
Oh
die
my
in real life.
god, that seems graphic.
So they're under attack by the agents, but they end up escaping.
Good. Okay.
I don't remember how. They must find a good phone.
A better
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, so
better
they
hard line.
they escape, but the agents capture Morpheus.
So they
capture
keep him in the Matrix?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they get Morpheus, and then Neo has to.
Yeah.
rescue
So
him.
they finally get a hold of the people outside of the Matrix, and that's where we
Wait.
find out that Cypher has taken over.
He's bad.
He's
the
a bad
real
guy.
world.
Yeah,
Like the ship?
yeah, sort of. Yeah, he's taken over the ship.
So did he want the agents to get Morpheus so that he could take over the ship?
Yeah, so we find out
Steak
find out that
sauce.
Cypher.
Miley
We find out
Cyrus.
that Cypher has made a deal with the agents that if he gives them up, he gives Neo and Morpheus and everyone up so that they can kill him. The agents will basically put Cypher back into the Matrix and
Oh,
erase his
right.
memory
Oh,
so that he can just
enjoy a
live
steak.
life the
What
way
a
it was always
piece
been.
Of
Yeah.
shit.
Bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
He wants to be ignorant
Wow.
of the reality.
What
And
a
he's-
weakling.
And he's talking to Trinity and Neo on the phone, and the rest and some of the other crew are also in the Matrix.
they're
And
all
he's-
still in the Matrix.
They're all still in the Matrix, and Cypher is up there. He's killed Tank, who was on the computer
He
line with
physically
him.
killed him?
Yeah, he kills him right in the real world.
in the real world.
And he's walking around the chairs, and he's unplugging everyone from the Matrix. And then when that happens, you die. You have to go through the landline. You can't just get unplugged. So
How
he's
could you just do
unplugging
that?
the whole crew and Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity, and
Why does he hate them so much?
well, because he wants to be in the Matrix and have his memory wiped by the agents. This is the deal. So he's unplugging them, and they're collapsing in the Matrix, and they're watching them die. And he's about to unplug. I think he's about to plug Neo. He's about to unplug Neo, and then he gets blasted by Tank. He actually didn't kill Tank. He thought he killed Tank, but Tank survived because Tank is this giant dude.
He's a tank of a
Yeah.
man.
He's a tank. Okay.
pretty big guy, and he gets blasted by. They have guns in the real world. These like laser
Fucking
blasts.
Plasma.
Yeah,
Plasma gun.
Plasma
Plasma
blasters.
Perfect. As I envisioned.
yeah. So
Okay, so then he's dead. Yeah.
yeah.
No?
Wow. This.
No, he's not. Well,
Wait.
he's unconscious, I think, right? For a while.
But then wouldn't the two of them be stuck in the Matrix? Because do they need someone to call them to get back?
But
A hard line?
yeah.
Or
but
do they
Tank
just
is
pick up
alive.
any phone? Yeah, but is he?
Yeah. that's-
Was it like his?
I don't
was it
remember
like
the
his?
details.
You know when like sometimes that's like their last like bout of energy and
Right.
they kill the like somebody
Yeah.
just to save the other person.
No,
and
no.
then they're
Tank brings them back. He brings Trinity back. He brings Trinity back into the real world. Neo can't come for some reason.
done. Okay.
I remember the rescue of Morpheus involves like a helicopter.
In the real world.
No, in the Matrix.
In the Matrix.
Because he's been.
So that would have been the next thing. Oh, did they have to choose between saving Neo and Morpheus?
No.
They should have.
There's a helicopter with machine guns and stuff, and Morpheus is being held and like tied to a chair in a building, and the agents are there, and then Morpheus gets into a helicopter and he's like, download how to fly a helicopter. And they're like, coming right up.
Yeah. So the agents have stolen Morpheus, and they go and find him, and they want to learn his like access codes to the mainframe of Zion.
Zion.
We haven't talked about Zion.
No.
Is that not a conspiracy?
No, that's Zionists.
Zionism.
Isn't it somewhat?
Zion is the capital city of the real world, right? It's where all
Of the human-
awakened humans go to party and have sexy parties.
That's
Wait,
episode
really?
2, isn't it?
In the second movie, there's like a sexy
There's
parties.
a giant orgy.
And that's just
yeah.
what they do in Zion.
Every now and then you gotta let loose, right?
So they want to learn the access code to Zion so the robots can,
Have a sexy
infiltrate.
party.
Yeah,
Join the sexy party. Wouldn't that be nice if that's all they wanted? It's like, God, and could you kill it in edits?
So Trinity and Neo are like, we got to rescue Morpheus. So at the same time, they're fighting agents in the Matrix. The robots, the squids,
Oh, yeah.
the squids
The
are actually
squids.
attacking the
The ship?
spaceship as well
Oh.
at the same
Oh,
time.
because I guess the agent. Wait, but it's all the same person. If they knew where the ship was, why didn't they just do it from the start?
I mean, I think they were like hunting. They were hunting for the ship,
Okay.
and then they found it.
So why don't they just say like, well, screw the Matrix, we can leave the Matrix because they're stuck here, and we could just attack the ship.
Listen, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they go in, they fight the agents, and Tank.
He's still alive.
Yeah, Tank is still alive. He's there. He's the one communicating with now. He's all like, well, maybe we should unplug Morpheus so that they don't gain the access code so they can attack the human civilization or whatever. But Neo's like, no. Like, I'll go in and save him. So they go, and this is where Neo fights like his darndest.
His darndest.
He's just like, he's basically, he's like superhuman. And his
Okay.
arms are all like, oh, crazy and stuff. He's fighting. And this is also where they do the bendy backwards thing.
The first time?
Yes.
Heck
The very first time where they're like,
Ruined it.
and Agent Smith, that's the main agent, Hugo Weaving, he kills Neo.
In the Matrix?
Yeah, he kills him in the Matrix.
So he's done.
So like Neo sacrifices himself like Jesus.
Okay.
Chocolate milk.
Oh, but
For
obviously,
Morpheus.
you're not gonna
Yeah.
work.
And it's all sad because Neo rescues Morpheus. Morpheus gets unplugged and back in the real world. So is Trinity, and Neo's the one dead. And Trinity in the real world leans over Neo in the real world, and he's in his chair, like dead, right? Plugged into the Matrix. And she's like, you can't be dead because I love you. So going back, actually, Trinity was told by the Oracle that she would love the One.
So she's just read her horoscope and
Yeah,
she's
no,
like,
the
I'm
Oracle
gonna
told
fall in
Trinity
love.
that she would fall in love with the One.
So now she's trying to make herself believe.
So
it.
she like leans into Neo and she's like, you can't be dead because I'm in love with you. And I'm supposed to be in love with the One.
Well, you can be in love with. dead
And then
people.
with those words of love, Neo
That's
is
it?
resurrected.
Shut up.
So what happens is Neo is resurrected. We see his point of view from the Matrix, and he wakes up, and all he sees is code.
Okay.
He doesn't see like the real world. He just sees the raining code. And we've now discovered that Neo has now become one with the Matrix. He is now a part of the Matrix. He's created his own reality
So
inside the Matrix.
It would be like It'd be like him reading a book or whatever, but maybe he's like reading the line ahead of what's actually happening, so he's anticipating what's gonna happen, so he knows like what's gonna happen. You know
Sort
what
of,
I
yeah.
mean?
He sees everything in the code, but then he can see. It's a weird. The visual
How is
in the
this-
movie is just like the code,
Well,
but
I think
then
I understand
you
the
can
concept.
see, but you can see the world as well. They
Oh.
mesh it with the real world with the code, and then Agent Smith is like, no, and he like,
He says no.
so he goes to fight him, and and this is where Neo, he has like no emotions. And he's just blocking every move.
Doesn't he put his
without-
hand behind his back just to be like, bitch?
Oh yeah, yeah. He like turns off to the side with a hand behind his back and is just like fighting him with no emotion and not even looking at him, just like blocking every move. And he defeats the agent. He like kills Agent Smith.
He like pushes him from a train or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Such a terrible way.
So, and the thing is, like, they're like, Neo, you have to get out of the Matrix. You have to return because they're going to basically release in the real world on the Nebuchadnezzar. They're going to release a giant electromagnetic pulse to destroy the squid robots that are attacking the ship.
Oh, okay.
But they got to shut off the Matrix
To do that,
To do that.
'cause
So
they
he's got to
basically-
get out, or else
Yeah.
he'll die.
So then he escapes the Matrix. They blow up all the robots, and that's like the end of the movie, kind
Oh,
of.
that's it. That's
Yeah,
That's the
like
end.
he defeats the agent. We find out he is the one. He actually is the one. The Oracle lied.
Really?
The Oracle knew.
Why
She
was
just
Right.
lied.
She did know, right?
Yeah.
She was like, just.
Did she know, or was she just not
no,
what
no.
we all thought
It's like
she was?
it's like one of those things where the Oracle's not going to tell him because the only way he'll become the one
Is
is
if
if
he knows.
Yeah,
he thinks
it's like,
he's not.
have you seen the latest Avengers movie?
No, of course not. No.
Well,
Coming up next
spoiler
week.
alert.
Guys.
The like
Might wanna
Neo
watch
wouldn't
that one.
wouldn't sacrifice himself if he knew that that's what it took to become the one, right?
Wouldn't he?
He had to die in the Matrix to become the one, and you can't tell someone, just like
Because then it'd be too easy.
Jesus
He'd just be like,
didn't
"Okay,
know
well,"
that he was going to have to sacrifice himself on the cross to become
he?
the Lord.
Did he not?
I don't know.
I think he did.
I'm not a follower of.
Me
I
neither.
think he did know. Whatever.
He
You know
went
what?
to see his
Yeah.
oracle
The point
in
is
her kitchen.
mute.
So they kill the robots, but this isn't the end. This is a movie that clearly is like, well, obviously there's going to be more
Give me
movies,
that sequel.
and it ends with basically Neo. There's a phone ringing and someone picks it up and it's Neo talking, and he's
To
talking
himself?
Well, he's talking like Morpheus,
What a piece of trash. Be your own person.
and he's
am I
like,
right?
he's basically telling the machines like he's gonna wake everyone up and he's gonna show.
Wait, Morpheus is dead?
No, Neo was talking on the phone.
So
This is
why
the
is
end.
he trying to be Morpheus?
Well, he's like it's like a callback. It's like a callback to when Morpheus phoned Neo. Now Neo is phoning.
The agents?
The next
He's kind of like phoning the
generation.
agents / the audience. We just can't hear his voice, and he hangs up, and then Neo and Trinity walk off into the city, into the crowd, and we're in the Matrix, and that's kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I have just realized and is a brand new thought in the world is that the name Neo, if you rearrange the letters, spell the word one.
No way.
That's just
Do you
something
think
that
they
I
did that?
came up with.
They would have.
I think
They might have.
I think you're the first person.
I think I've uncovered
Ever.
something.
Are you being sarcastic right now? 'Cause I
Yes,
can't
that's
tell.
very well
No.
known.
Are you serious? God
That's
damn it.
That's the whole point.
So what if he chose a name that was
Guys.
like Disco Dude 54? And I'm like, oh shit, that's not an anagram for
Username.
anything.
That'll be what the newest one is.
Right.
So do you think?
Oh yeah. What do we think is going to happen in the? We haven't gone through the other two.
Well, the other
movies.
two,
No.
they're not just not
With this
as good,
knowledge,
right?
though,
The other
Could
two
I
movies, a
see
lot
the
of
fourth?
stupid stuff happens.
Yeah,
So I could
it's
just
a sexy
probably
party.
But I don't know. The fourth one, it could anyone's ball game, really.
I think they
So-
should make it about social media, a commentary
really
on.
should.
Yeah.
they would have to, because at the time, like the Matrix made sense. Exactly what Ryan was saying earlier. Like I don't think it'll click with people that go to watch movies now.
I feel when they wrote that
Obviously,
Matrix,
there will be the people that saw the original Matrix that'll go.
Mhm.
But don't you think they would want to address the whole new generation?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the social media is our matrix now.
Mm.
Yeah, we're all
trapped
plugged
in our
in.
own
Totally.
matrix.
We're living in a fake world.
God.
And when we unplug, we realize
Ooh.
that the
We
world's
compare our
on
world to
fire. We unplugged.
Instagram. Let that be a lesson, you guys.
There we go.
So I'll say I give this the Matrix review 4 out of 5 green rainfall codes and 1 kung fu kick to the head.
How many dojos?
Well, that would be with the kick to the head. So I guess just
I think
one
it should
dojo.
be its own rating system.
It's
That's going to be the rating system for the rest of the podcast. Is how many dojos?
How many dojos?
How many dojo kicks to the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good. So are you gonna watch it? That's the idea,
I
right?
do think
You're gonna
yeah,
find
I mean,
out if
I
you actually want to
definitely-
watch it.
I think this is a film that I would like. There's a lot in there that I think would be gaps that when you're telling me, I have an argument to pull up, and I'm curious if when I'm watching, I'll just be like, "But what about this?"
I mean, it's kind of we've told you the resolution, like all
but
of the twists and
wanna
turns.
see what kind of steak he was eating, where it was prepared to.
You seem to be really drawn to the dojo and the steak. Those
Yeah.
are like the main.
Those are
points
still
of
my
interest.
favorite parts.
Okay, well they're
Still
great.
after, if I had to retell my synopsis of The Matrix, I think it would be pretty similar to what I said earlier.
Okay,
That's how well information was digested on my
great.
part.
So
Our job
work
here
has
is
been.
done.
At the end of the day, it was fantastic.
It's a mute SME point.
On that note, you guys, thank you for listening. You can listen to this anytime you want, anywhere you want, on any of the podcast platforms. And be sure to follow Big Cake Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and our website for updates.
As well as at
Haven't seen
Haven't
a
Seen a Podcast.
Instagram and Facebook. Baby.
And now you'll sign off with your classic sign off line that you say at the end of every episode, which is.
See you next time.